Now you've gained knowledge on what ethos is, how to use it, and why it's important and necessary. Since you already have all of this wonderful background information on ethos, I will be providing you with some examples of ethos and well-known speeches. You might have heard some of these speeches without realizing the author was utilizing ethos. Politicians are speakers who commonly use ethos in their speeches. Using this specific rhetorical device helps politicians strengthen their character and provide them with credibility. Credibility and integrity is an attribute that all politicians should strive to demonstrate. Ethos helps them accomplish this in their speeches. In 2008, former President Obama gave a speech about responsibly ending the war in Iraq and finishing the fight against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Obama said, "I will rebuild our military. I will also renew the tough, direct diplomacy. I will build new partnerships. I will restore our moral standing so that America is once again, at last, best hope for all who are called to the cause of freedom, who long for lives of peace, and who yearn for a better future." Obama continually emphasizes the "I will" phrase. This builds trustworthiness and confidence in his promised words. In 2012, Mitt Romney delivered an acceptance speech at the Republican National Convention. Romney continually referenced all of the success he has had in the business world to prove to the people that he had experiences that would be beneficial if he were to take office. Romney said, "I learned the real lessons about how America works from experience. When I was 37, I helped start a small company. Some of us had this idea if we really believed in ourselves and our advice that we were helping companies, we should invest in companies. We should bet on ourselves and on our advice." Romney portrays himself as a great businessman that you should trust because he has been in the shoes of a beginner before. He understands the modern American. In 2016, presidential candidate John Kasich delivered a victory speech after the Ohio primaries. Kasich used ethos to strengthen his speech by telling his supporters how, despite always being handed the short end of the stick, he has risen to success through hard work. Kasich says, "As you know, ladies and gentlemen, my whole life has been about trying to create a climate of opportunity for people. You know, my father carried the mail on his back, and his father was a coal miner. And you know, as I've traveled the country and I look into your eyes, you want to believe that your children are going to have ultimately a better America than what we got from our mothers and fathers." Similar to Romney, Kasich makes an emphasis on how he comes from a modest, hardworking American background. Lastly, I will use an example from possibly one of the most famous speakers in the world, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Churchill delivered a speech to the U.S. Congress during World War II. Churchill related to Americans by emphasizing the American democratic values that were deeply instilled in him by his parents. Churchill said, "I am a child of the House of Commons. I was brought up in my father's house to believe in democracy. I have steered confidently towards the Gettysburg ideal of government of the people, by the people, for the people." Churchill truly hit the nail on the head with his speech. What better way to advocate for the American people than quoting the Gettysburg Address itself? He highlighted the many similar morals between himself and the United States. This speech was definitely decorated with many clever and persuasive uses of ethos. Now that I have touched on a few political speeches that do a great job of using ethos, I'm sure you will not be able to miss hearing this rhetorical device in the next speech you hear delivered by a politician.